Why is Career Launcher's CAT test series probably the best? Why has it been the most recommended CAT test series program over the last 20 years? What sets Career Launcher's CAT test series apart?
Even during your class 10 board examinations, there were basically two things which you would keep in mind. Number one would be which would be the best possible model test paper which you would want to get your hands on. Seniors' recommendation really played a part there, didn't it? Number two was, well, what would be the ideal strategy with which you would be able to maximize your scores? Something very similar goes on when you decide to sit for your CAT examination. Which would be the model test papers or the mock test which you would want to attempt before sitting for the actual CAT? Also, which are the topics that you want to concentrate on so that you've reached a strategy which would help you maximize your scores? Well, let's spend some time finding out what goes behind creating CL's mock CAT tests.
A test series is extremely important part of preparation for CAT. Why? For two reasons. One is that it helps him benchmark himself against the competition. Two, the fact that a mock test or test series actually simulates the actual CAT. So in order to get a real sense of what your percentile is going to be, you need to actually take a test that is as close as possible to the real CAT.
Another thing to keep in mind while preparing the ideal mock test paper is the fact that which IIM would be conducting CAT that particular year. On the basis of our experience, we have observed that say if IIM Ahmedabad is conducting the CAT exam, verbal might be slightly trickier. On the flip side, if IIM Calcutta is conducting the exam, quant and logical reasoning might be slightly tougher. Thus, each member of PhiLab always sits for the CAT exam so that he is prepared for what each and every IIM might want to serve up to a candidate.
One of the things that we at CL aim to achieve is that this team here, which is the PhiLab, creates mock tests that are as close as possible to CAT. And this has been vindicated multiple times over the last few CATs. There's a lot of experimentation that we do while creating the tests. Every person here is involved in micro element of the test series, and they're handpicking questions and chiseling them. We know exactly what kinds of questions are coming, what are the skills that they are checking, and what's the level of difficulty of the questions, and that helps us in one sense extrapolate what could be the next CAT. So the level of difficulty that you find is very close to CAT is by design, not by accident.
A large number of CL faculty members across cities appear for the paper, and we have been doing this thing for the last 20 odd years or so. It is only when you take it like a student, you face the same pressure of performance, are you able to make a correct estimate as to how the paper should have been taken and the level of difficulty and what are the right things to do in that paper.
One of the things that we've always observed is that knowledge does not play a very important role in a CAT exam.
While you have the knowledge, you should also be able to understand how the paper has to be taken. In fact, a few students told me, sir, we are able to understand what you say as to how a paper should be taken, but we are not able to implement it. Can you do a paper and record it and show it to us? So I said, why not? Hence started the practice of taking every paper or a large number of papers and recording them. Idea being to showcase to the student as to how the paper should have been taken, how quick you have to be in terms of decision making of leaving questions or attempting questions. On what basis do you decide which questions to attempt or leave? How do you use the choices? How can the calculation shortcuts be applied? How do you pick up the right data set or the right RC passage to attempt in the paper? Now all this can be shown when you are recording your live attempt.
One very important thing that I was worried about as a CAT aspirant was what would my mock scores actually correspond to in the CAT exam. Well, this is exactly what went behind the creation of the CL percentile predictor.
The CAT percentile predictor is actually a very important part of the CAT test series. Today our CAT percentile predictor is able to predict the right percentile for a student even if he is the only guy writing that exam. We are very blessed because we have data of people who have taken the CAT and how they have performed in our mocks, and this data has been available to us for more than 10 years. So we've been very successful in building models which is able to predict the kind of correlation between the mock scores and the final CAT score. These are statistical models and we use a lot of technology in collaboration with the academic team to build these models. And it's amazing to see emails, just after the CAT results are announced, when we would have predicted somebody getting 98.62 and it would be like bang on, second decimal bang on target.
We at CL pride ourselves on two things. Number one, being able to predict the difficulty level of CAT and thereby prepare what we feel to be the closest to the actual CAT mock paper. And number two, being able to predict each and every student's likely CAT percentile using CL's percentile predictor. Thus, the difficulty level of each and every CL mock CAT exam is by design and not by accident.
To experience a free Career Launcher mock, visit www.careerlauncher.com/CAT test series or WhatsApp us at 95999 27113.